Hey guys, Mr. Poestyle back again, or Super Dadio. My kids got me this shirt, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago for Father's Day. Today is Father's Day, and a continuation of my Father's Day weekend videos. Yesterday, I uploaded a video about the Famicom, Star Wars by Namco, and the Star Wars for the Nintendo NES, made by JVC and Lucasfilm Games. Check it out. That was yesterday's video. Two very different games. One made in 1987, the other made in 91. Totally different. But that's the other video. Go check it out if you got time. But today, I'm going back to the fun of TigerVision, Atari 2600 video game cartridges. And in my previous videos that I did on King Kong and most recently Threshold, I gushed about how much I love the way these cartridges look, especially the colored ones. Coleco did white cartridges for the 2600, and that's what they did for Miner 2049er from TigerVision. I don't know, this one probably came first, since the ColecoVision started a little later and then started making games for the Atari. You had your white, and it seems like most of TigerVision games are in white, I think, that I saw. What's the other one? Marauder and Polaris, I think, were in white. Miner 2049er Part 2, I believe, was in white. And most recently, a couple days ago, I finally added Jawbreaker. And look at that deep red. That is beautiful. I love that. So I'm going to play it here for the first time ever for you. And we'll see what we think. The gameplay. Pardon me. Ooh. But it's right up there. Look at that. It's beautiful next to the blue. And the orange. And the white / getting older looking beige cartridge. But these games, some of them are more pricey. I might go ahead and get Polaris. It wasn't quite as bad. I think this one here, Jawbreaker, was in the $40-some area that I got. Was actually cheaper than the other listings that I found on eBay. But Miner 2049er Part 2 that Brian from Brian's Man Cave has, and he lucked out. I believe he said he got it at a flea market. And I'm looking that one up, and I think that it was going for like around $125 to $150 on eBay. And I'm just not willing to spend that kind of money right now. There was a box copy of one of these games that some idiot had for like $1,888 from TigerVision for the 2600. At that point, it's like, no way. Even if I won the lottery. Okay, maybe if I won the lottery and I didn't really care, I would get that. But that's pretty pricey. So, sorry, I am sweating. It's very humid and hot here right now. But I love these cartridges. I love the way they look. I will be playing this one next out of this series, unless I do end up getting Polaris at some point. Then either or I'll do. But right now, we gave you a video on King Kong, gave you a video on Threshold, and now Jawbreaker for the Atari 2600. I believe the cartridge itself says 82. I did look it up earlier, yesterday or the day before on Wikipedia, so I don't know if it was actually 81 or 82 release. But the cartridge is in good shape. The end label is peeling a little bit, but I just love those colors, love the ridges. And again, that's the only one out of the 4 TigerVisions I have, or not the only one. That is one of them 3 that doesn't have the little dust cover, and we have it on King Kong for whatever reason. Right now it's pushed in, probably can't get it back out. But that was one difference in all the carts. But we're going to play it here. We're going to see how it plays. Is it a fun game? Is it worth the price tag? That's a good question. So, without further ado, let's go to some gameplay and see what I think and see what you think. So that was Jawbreaker by TigerVision for the Atari 2600. And there was another version of this, a little bit different, that came out. There's some videos out there, check it out. I think for the Atari 8-bit. Some of them they called Jawbreaker 2. Jawbreaker 1 caused some confusion, according to Wikipedia. They were a little different, but this I thought was really fun. So much so that after I played this, I downloaded the ROM to put on my flashbacks, my handheld Atari flashbacks. I have the wood grain one that I bought for myself a year or so ago. Willie from Arcade USA, just because he's Willie and a great guy, sent me the black flashback handheld. And then I have the Blaze handheld. So I put that ROM on all three of the handhelds and just have them scattered throughout the house, because I'm going to play a lot more of Jawbreaker. It was very addicting, you know. You are the disembodied teeth. And there's little smiley face guys that rotate. Look pretty impressive for the 2600. Sometimes there's holes in the floor. You go up through, you eat the dots. You know, there's another dot that you can eat them, kind of like Pac-Man, eating the baddies. I won't say ghosts. I won't say monsters. I won't say ghost monsters. People seem to get uptight, tighten up their butthole over that subject as to what they're called. I don't care. Ghost monsters, I think that's what the cartoon called them. The cartoon was cool. I do like Atari 2600 Pac-Man. If you don't, that's your problem. I don't care. But this was a lot of fun, and it's very addicting. And I could see sitting down and playing this in short bursts or long bursts. That's why I put it on my 2 flashback portables. That's why I put it on my Blaze Atari portable. I put it on the SD card of my Retron 77 because that is upstairs away from my other old retro consoles that are down in my game room, and that way I can play this cartridge on my Atari 2600s or my ColecoVision 2600 adapter, whatever. Now, I was in one of the Phil the No Swear Gamers live streams. I try to go on them all the time if I can. I really suggest him, and Brian's Man Cave, and the Atari Creep, and BMG Retro Gaming, and so many others. But Phil, playing one of the games, I don't remember which live stream it was, I asked him in the chat, the live chat, if he had rated Jawbreaker for the 2600, and he told me no. He does have the cartridge, I believe he said, but he informed me that because of these tabs, it will not fit correctly into your Atari 7800, which I guess that's what he usually rates his 2600 games on. That's how he plays it. So I didn't try it in my 7800 since he told me that. These tabs are too long. It's not going to fit right and seat right. But it plays perfectly well in my Atari 2600s. I have a Light Sixer. I have the 4-switch Woody that was mine from Christmas of 1982. And the cartridge works fine, so I'm going to keep this down in the basement game room to play down there. So I have it on my SD card on my Retron now. I have it on my 3 portable systems. This is going to be a game that gets a lot of play out of me. I suggest you do the same. Get the cartridge, play the ROMs, play it on an emulator, on your Retron, on your portables, on your flashbacks that take the SD card. I'll put it on my soft modded Wii. It's one of these games that I'm going to go back to. Disembodied teeth, eating dots. That's what you're doing. Kind of makes me wonder if they go with the disembodied lips from fast food that I did a video on a while back. Maybe they just broke away from those lips. They went on their own. They're rebel, loose cannon, taking on the world. Who knows? Really fun though. And again, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there, you stepfathers, you father figures. You are all wonderful people for sticking in there and raising your children, and teach them how to retro game. My kids love it. My kids are now 20 and 17, and they both love it. From my Fairchild family, Channel F, my 2600 ColecoVision and television, you know, through the years, they've played them all. They've enjoyed them all. They play them on their own sometimes. NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii U, Switch, PS1, PS3, PS4, whatever. My kids are gamers now. They took my passion for the game, and they have the passion of their own now for it. And I have my own parents to thank for it. Maybe I'll throw a picture here, because I went up to see my father today for Father's Day. And I went to see my father, and I didn't get to see my mother on Mother's Day, so it was great seeing her. And it's seeing my older sister and 2 older brothers. Today was a wonderful Father's Day. You know, visiting with my own kids and my wife. Well, visiting, they live with me. And then going up to see my parents and my brothers and sisters. My parents got us our first Atari 2600 back in 1982. You know, my dad is now 83 years old. He'll be 84 years old in August. My mom is 84. She will be 85 in July. And I recently bought them a flashback 9 gold edition, 10, 9 They had given me my old Atari years ago, so they didn't have an Atari system in there. I gave them one, loaded up with the ROMs. They used to, the only games that they ever played back in the day were Haunted House, Stampede, and Pac-Man for the 2600. And they did that after we went to bed. They didn't play that stuff around us. They would do it when my dad's little sister would visit, my Aunt Marcia. She would come back and visit, and they would sit up and play Stampede and Pac-Man and Haunted House all night. Unbeknownst to us kids, we were in bed. And they never got into any of the other systems after that. That was Christmas '82. '86, I got a Nintendo just for me, NES. My parents never touched it. '91, my senior year, for Christmas, I got a Super Nintendo. My parents never touched it. So I got them that flashback a year or two ago. And I put on the SD card Pac-Man for the 2600. And just a bunch of other things. And what's funny to me is I found out from my brother that they discovered Freeway. They had never played that before. We used to raise chickens when I was a kid. My dad thought it was great. My mom and him were sitting there, you know, in their 80s, playing Freeway. And it's nice now, right now, my dad has a cane. He has a problem with a pinched nerve that's really bad. He's only getting an hour or two of sleep at night. He has a surgery coming up. But they do sit there and play the Atari flashback. So, who knew? But I love those people very much. They got us an Atari when I think my older brothers were begging for it. I don't think it was even really on my radar at 9 years old. I knew people that had one. I might have played one here and there. But once we got that thing, I was hooked on video gaming from 9 years old till here I am. I'll be 48 in a couple of weeks. Still love it. So, but anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you going to try out Jawbreaker? It is fun. Have you played the other TigerVision games? Do you like them? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Who cares? Let me know in the comments below what you think of it, what you think of the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Happy Father's Day, everybody. I got jawbreaker fever, driving me crazy, I got jawbreaker fever, going out of my mind,